And welcome in there, Gyms and Gymettes, to episode 131 of the DAAAgenerates podcast. Oh, we got a special one here today. We're talking week 7. We're talking Bears Patriots. We got a little bit of wrestling news and a little bit of MLB. But before we get into all that, my name's Nick Johnston and my co-host down below everywhere. You're looking everywhere if you're on the visual aid. But wow, Bill, how the hell are you?
Hey, we're doing fucking great. Just talking about this. God, we got another fucking shitty Thursday night game coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Saints Cardinals. Kyler Murray, he's running his fucking double XP COD beta right now. Actually, no, the beta's over, so he theoretically should have a good game this weekend. But we'll see. The Saints have had a feisty little fucking defense at times this year. And yeah, like you said, decent little week 7. Looking through the slate, though, let's just be honest. There's a lot of fucking ugly games this week. This is not going to be a fun game or a fun week gambling and fantasy wise. I feel like this is going to be just a ugly, greasy fucking week of football. We got a little basketball tipped off the fucking season last night. Maybe a little bit of hockey. We're on to the AL and NLCS. Unfortunately, the fucking stankies, the skankies, beat the Guardians last night in game 5. They're going to be facing off against the Astros. And then, yeah, like Nick said, a little fucking wrestling as always to wrap this thing up. But before we get into everything else, you guys on the YouTube, you've probably seen it already. For you guys listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, wherever you guys get your fucking Degenerates podcast. We got a very special fucking surprise for you guys. We got a guest. We're bringing in original host of the DAAAgenerates podcast. My good buddy, you hear him laughing there. No longer in Arkansas. Why is it no Arkansas?
No Arkansas.
Tim Hester, how you doing? Welcome back, dude.
What's up, fellas? Thanks for having me back. And yeah, no more Arkansas. We are free and clear of that prison sentence for forever. So we're back in Illinois, back in the good old Chicagoland area. So can't complain there.
Love to hear that. That's gonna be awesome. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, man, it must have been fucking hell down there. I mean, no family, no friends, nothing to fucking do for what, 2.5 fucking years? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, once COVID hit, that really shut everything that really goes on down there down. And then between that and then the pedal to the metal going for work, we were running 7 days a week for about 2 years solid there. So good to be back, taking some time off before whatever the next adventure in the construction world is.
For sure. And yeah, obviously it's good to have you back in town. Been over at the fucking compound a couple times, watching some Bears games, watching Red Zone, the rest of the football games. So hell yeah, it's good to have you back. It's good to have you back on the podcast. I say we get this thing kicked off, talk a little Monday night football. I know usually we go Thursday, Sunday, Monday, but our Bears, they're playing Monday night in Foxborough. Rematch of Super Bowl 20. Bears Patriots. Who we getting? Bailey Zapp. We getting Mac Jones. It don't matter. Bears I think are still gonna get fucking pummeled. But yeah, if you guys are good with it, I say let's just hop right into fucking Bears Patriots.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, I mean, Tim, you guys want to take the reins? Want to give our thoughts? Give your thoughts.
Sure. I'll start off with a couple thoughts I have on this game and just for the Bears in general. First off, take points when we can. We left a bunch of points on the board these last couple games, not kicking field goals, going for it on 4th down for whatever reason. We think our offense is good. Kick the fucking field goals. We have Cairo Santos. He's one of the best kickers in the league, accuracy-wise. Just take it. Second note, Bill, you'll love this one. Fullback, Kari Blasingame. Get him involved more often. You look at all the plays he's been involved with. He's almost always a plus player for yardage when he's out there. Get him involved. Give him the ball in short yardage situations. Throw him the ball. Do something. You get the fullback more involved. Patriots give up about 120 yards rushing a game. That's where we got to attack. They only give up 18 points a game, which isn't good. But, hey, the Bears only score 15. So that's 3 more than we normally get. So, hey, maybe that's a good thing. That's my first couple of notes. Obviously it's a Belichick coach defense. So it's going to be a tight game. On their offensive side, honestly, if it's Mac Jones, I'm less concerned because I don't think he's very good. Bailey Zappi kind of concerns me a little bit more. It's just really stopping, You're not going to stop Jacoby Myers. He's their go-to guy. If you stop the complimentary players like the Hunter Henrys, the Jonnu Smiths, the Devontae Parkers, I feel like you're in better shape. And my last note before I turn it back to you guys, looking at the Bears offensive line grades from last week, we didn't grade out very well overall in pass blocking, but in run blocking, Mustipher, Jenkins, Jones, and Lucas Patrick were our top run blockers. Run that interior, run up the gut. That means David Montgomery. I heard rumors that they're going to run with a hot hand. Fuck that. David Montgomery's the guy. I like Khalil Herbert as much as the next guy, but Monty's the complete back on this roster. Herbert's a nice piece, but he's a change of pace guy in my mind.
Yeah, without a doubt. I'm just looking at what the Bears give up. I mean, I mean, Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi, I was kind of in the same realm. Doesn't really matter. I don't think so. They're just feel like their game plan is just going to be run it down the Bears' throat. The Bears are 31st in terms of yardage allowed in the rush game. They're just above the Seahawks, who are, giving up just like 995 yards in the ground. The Bears 978 yards. It's just probably Ramondre Stevenson due for another big game. I see Damian Harris is questionable. Either way, I'm between those two probably getting involved, and maybe they're even their backup, the third string guy, probably also doing some work. But yeah, I was kind of having the same thing, kind of the same thoughts. The receivers, they're good enough to still have to cover them. The guy, Jacoby Myers is probably going to be their key guy, but if you lock down Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith in the red zone, Devontae Parker silently having like one of a very consistent yardage reception type season. No real scores or anything like that, but unlike Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson that can actually be utilized in the pass game. So what minimal usage at best, but still something you got to pay attention to. But yeah, that was you kind of hit all the same things I kind of had that written down in my notes. But other than just the fact that it's kind of set up for the Patriots to just beat the shit out of us. Bill Belichick tied with George Halas with the same amount of all-time wins. It's just super poetic setup on prime time. It's just all meant for the Bears to get stomped on. But it's possible. There's a little bit of hope. The Patriots are middle tier in just about everything. So not a lot of scoring on the ground, but again, middle tier in their rushing defense, a lot of passing yardage and passing touchdowns. That's where we can maybe utilize, get some actual score and move the ball down. As long as the Bears are at their A game, that's basically going to be the only way that the Bears can be able to do anything in this game. If they just top tier A1 ready to go. That's what I got so far.
Yeah, I think I definitely agree. It's super poetic that Bill Belichick can become the NFL all-time winning coach, breaking George Halas on Monday Night Football against the fucking Bears. I mean, the storyline is just already there. It's set. And I think, we talk out, we spit out all these numbers, rushing yards for the Bears, rushing yards against for the Patriots. I think this game's going to be won. If it is won by the Bears, I think it's going to have to be won through the air. I think it's going to have to come down to Justin Fields. We've seen Belichick throughout the years. He knows how to take away what you're good at, like whatever an offense's bread and butter is. He's going to try and take that away and make you beat him other places. And the run game for the Bears, I wouldn't even say that's our bread and butter. That's like our saltine cracker, because this offense is just that fucking bad. But I think he's gonna come out. He knows the Bears, all they have is their run game, whether it's Herbert or Montgomery, or it's Justin Fields running for his fucking life. I think Bill Belichick is smart enough to where he's gonna try and take that away from us and make Justin Fields pass the ball. And just the big question mark is, will Justin Fields be able to do that if and when the run game isn't working? So I'll go a little fucking different route. I think Justin Fields and the receivers have to have a big game. Both of you mentioned the name Hunter Henry. For the rest of my life, until the day I'm dead, whenever I hear the name Hunter Henry, it'll always remind me that Mikey Sapinski drafted him in the 6th round of our fantasy draft this year, when in 98% of other leagues he went undrafted. So good on you, Mikey. But I'll go to the other fucking tight end. I want to see more out of Cole Kmet, dude. We had such high hopes for this dude coming into this season, even going into last season. He was great at Notre Dame. He's a big guy. He's quick. He has good hands, even though he had some fumbling issues. Catching the ball wise, he's got good hands. I remember going back to, I think the Panthers game last year, made an amazing catch in the end zone and like triple fucking coverage. So we've seen spurts of it. I'm just waiting for this dude to, I don't want to say break out, because I don't think he'll ever be on the level of a Mark Andrews or a Travis Kelce, or I would put Darren Waller in there, but he's fucking me in the ass in fantasy. I just want to see him have a good game and get more involved in this offense, because we love
needs
Mooney.
To get open.
Yeah, exactly. He needs to play. I don't want to see Ryan Griffin out there or Trey Wesco. Yeah, like why is Cole Kmet not out there more? Maybe I'm completely wrong, and they're starting to give up on him. And I mean, you wouldn't be wrong for doing that and thinking that, because he hasn't really done a whole lot. But I don't know. I don't know who else to go to in this passing game. That's how sad it is. Like, we have Darnell Mooney, who he's a solid guy. I don't trust Pettis. We finally get rid of the Bears cut number 17. I don't know why we didn't start off the episode with that. Don't even care about his name. We don't talk about his name here, Tim. It's just number 17. He's off the fucking team. Never trusted that shithead. Equanimous, another name. That's a name to remember right there, just because it's fun to say. But he's really been non-existent. Who is that go-to number 2 receiving guy on the Bears offense right now? You can't really say. Like, there is no definitive number 2. Yeah, who do you think it should be?
Who it needs to be is the guy that needs to stop returning punts, and that's Velus Jones. Velus Jones returned 18 fucking punts in college in 5 years. He's not a punt returner. Yeah. Put him in the fucking offense. We've seen him run the jet sweep twice, and it's looked nice, but how about like a drag route over the middle, a slant route? Give me something throwing fucking Velus Jones the ball. Let's see what this dude's got. He was bouncing off of people at Tennessee last year. We all heard about how good and explosive this dude was. I know he's back getting healthy, but hey, man, you've been back for 2 weeks. Let's see something in the offensive scheme.
I completely agree. I mean, the 2 touches that he's had on offense 2 weeks ago on the end around, or the reverse jet pass, whatever you want to call it, went for a touchdown. And then last week against, Thursday night against Washington, he got one that was like a 9-yard gain for a first down. So, I mean, I totally agree. He should be the number 2 going forward, whether it's just, use him in like that Debo role, maybe line him up in the backfield, just put the ball in his hands and let him run, because he's that shifty, he's that fast, he's that explosive. Or you line him out wide, and maybe he could be that fast fucking deep threat that the Bears haven't had since fucking Bernard Berrien. That's a fucking name Bears fans love right there. But yeah, I totally agree. We should try and find a way to get the ball in that dude's hands a little more.
He's a third round pick. I mean, you got to have third round picks have to make an impact on the roster. We've seen through the Pace era and now the Poles era, we've seen 4th, 5th, 6th rounders make the impact. Well, let's see the third rounder make an impact. And quickly going back to your Kmet comment, Bill, what I wish we could have seen out of Kmet, and maybe there's still life for it. It's going to take a little bit of brain power on both his and Justin's end, but I'd love to see Cole Kmet run those similar to Travis Kelce option routes, where he either runs the little curl route at like 5 yards, or if the defense is on him and there's a soft spot behind that set of linebackers, to run behind those linebackers and get your ass open.
Yeah. Just any way to sort of get this guy involved in the offense a little more, because we've seen it. The talent is there. He hasn't been given the opportunity yet. And for what that reason is, nobody knows other than the people in that locker room.
Yeah. No, break the stigma of the shitty Notre Dame players being on the Bears, because the 3 Notre Dame players we have all kind of are shitty, with Mustipher, Kmet, and Equanimous right now. Hopefully one of them could break the mold of the shitty Notre Dame players.
Notre Dame players are just shitty in general, no matter what team they're on. I don't think that really matters.
Not Julian Love with that beautiful pick last week.
Yeah, not Julian Love. He's a dog.
True. That's
We're
true.
always going to be a big Julian Love podcast here.
Of course.
Speaking of fixing the Bears receiver core, I saw there's a new name kind of floating out on the old trade radar. He was kind of being rumored to be maybe floated to Green Bay, but if the Bears have maybe a later draft pick or something to give up, I've heard the name Chase Claypool's floating around in the NFL rumor mills as being available. That would be pretty nice.
He did have a nice.
He's a douche, but that'd be nice.
He had a nice little breakout game last week.
He is such a douche, though. I give him credit. He's a big body, great hands. He's a physical guy, and he's shown multiple times with Big Ben last year, with fucking Pickett, with fucking Money Mitch. He can make catches. It's just
It's a step up from Mooney for sure.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I'll never get over the fact that he's fucking last year, like 10 seconds left in the game, no timeouts. He gets a first down. He starts doing the little dance, the first down fucking thing with his hands, and everyone's like, what the fuck are you doing? Plus the fact that he does TikToks. You know me, football, baseball, basketball. If you do TikToks, I don't want anything to do with you. TikTok dances, I should say.
Yeah,
I don't want nothing to do with you. But I mean, unfortunately, yeah, it would be a huge upgrade from what the Bears have now.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't hit the panic button and go get Robbie Anderson or something like that. That wouldn't have been. I don't think that would have been good. At least that's a step up from that.
Yes,
I think.
And the other reason I brought that up is because his current place that's being rumored to come get him is Green Bay. And I would love to keep Chase Claypool out of Green Bay because I think Aaron Rodgers could make him a legit weapon, especially, yelling at him and probably beating him like he does all of his other rookie receivers and young receivers.
Yeah, that would not be very fun to actually see Chase Claypool utilized in a good way.
No.
Is it safe to say with all the like we already came up with the narrative that Bill Belichick trying to get this win, is it safe to say that this game is just going to be super? It always is physical. Obviously, it's football, but it is going to be a super fucking mental game. I think it's going to come down to that. Just kind of like what you said. I think it was Bill. Was just Bill Belichick taking away what you're good at. So you got to just come up with some fun little plays or something like that. Some backyard football to maybe get the ball down the field. But I don't know. It's good in my mind. The Bears are gonna if they're gonna have any sort of chance of winning, any sort of hope, they're gonna have to have that mentality of like, fuck you, you're not making history over our fucking name. You're already, you fucking fuck you, not against our team. You can get this win sometime, but not against us. So yeah, I think that's just where the Bears mentally need to be. Besides just, like I said, balling out on all sides, they're just gonna need to be shutting it down. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe pull like a little fucking Rocky IV with the Drago picture in the mirror. You just need to have everyone's mirror just has a face of Bill Belichick or a little picture of Bill Belichick, and then at the end of the week you fucking crumble it up, throw it in a ball. Yeah, it'll just be
I'm sure that the Patriots guys are like very much motivated to get Belichick this fucking win. So I mean, that's it. They're at home. They're gonna have all their fucking fans screaming. I mean, it would just be so sweet for the Bears to go in and just ruin it, at least for this week.
Yeah, I want to see what if and when he does get this win, which we all know he'll get one more win in his career. What his reaction's gonna be, because we know Bill Belichick to be this stone cold dude. He doesn't laugh, he doesn't joke, he doesn't take no shit. What do you think his reaction will be when he actually does get that win to put him into number one all time? Like, will he just be like, oh, okay, that's cool, or will he crack a smile? I don't know.
Thank you.
Exactly, just another win, just another Monday.
Yeah,
I think he'll be a little more than that. I know he's very stoic, but he loves the history of this game, so I think he won't say a lot because obviously Bill Belichick never says a lot of words, but I think he'll say enough. Like, I'm sure he'll say something nice about George Halas and talk about how it's a huge record to break, but it'll be very short-lived in words.
Yeah, all jokes aside, I'm sure he'll keep it very respectful, and it probably along those lines. I'm sure he'll do that. If you saw him on that top 100 players of all time, you kind of got to actually peel back a little bit of personality on Bill Belichick when he was sitting down with like Deion Sanders, Tom Brady, and everybody else. So that was actually somewhat cool to see him smile. So sure. Yeah, I'm sure that little speech afterward, if he gets a win or not, he'll say something nice. He'll say something cool. Yeah, that's good.
What about the one clip that sort of was surfaced going around the internet last week? Like, obviously, the Patriots beat the Browns week 6, 38-15, but there was a rookie, don't know his name, number 41. He blocked a punt and he took the ball and he went up to Bill Belichick and he was like handing Bill Belichick the ball after this rookie made a big play. And Bill Belichick just gave him the hardest fucking stare, like, what the fuck are you doing look of all time. Like, he didn't give a single fuck about that rookie and him making a play in that moment. He's trying to hand Bill the ball. And he was just like, why are you giving me this fucking ball? And he sort of just, he looked at him and then he looked back at the field and was fucking focused back on the game. So that was just, that's Bill Belichick right there in a fucking nutshell. He don't take no shit, but
I mean,
I agree.
He skipped his owner's wedding just because he had a game this week. So yeah, I think that's kind of the mentality where he's at. That makes total sense.
That reaction to number 41, Bill, would just the only thing that comes to my head that relates to any of us is that would be something like Greece is playing in like, the club fucking cup championships and we're down like 7-0 and G scores a goal and like buys you a hockey puck and brings it to you. That's the only thing I compare that to.
G scores a fucking worthless goal with 30 seconds of these guys. You see that fucking deke I just pulled off? Like, yeah, G. We just lost 7-1, dude. Thanks.
Poor
fucking
guy.
we love you, G. No, he's the runt of the fucking group now. He's gonna be taking a lot of shit from us. But hey, that's just how it is sometimes when you're that fucking youngster.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense.
Looking at the fucking Lions, let's talk a little gambling on this game. Over under 39.5. Patriots favored -7.5. If I don't think you guys are, but are you taking any of these bets on the day? +7.
Gun to my head, I'll take the under.
-7.5.
I'll take the under. Yeah. I'll take the under. Oh, you take the lowest unders, you take the highest overs. That's just how you're supposed to do it with another prime time under. Besides the stat that's going on where it's hitting at like a 65-70% clip, these unders on prime time, just the matchup itself, low scoring, a decent defense on both sides. Just give me the under. I mean, yeah,
I agree. It's pretty chalk, but 39.5. I mean, I don't remember when's the last time a primetime game went over on the line. I don't remember. Don't think it's happened.
I don't know if the line changed, but the last Sunday night game, the Eagles and Cowboys fucked me over by a point. I had 42, and then the Devontae Smith touchdown got it to 43. So I don't know. I don't know what it opened at, but that fucked me. I got it on Sunday morning. Yeah. Do we have? I don't know. -8. I don't know. I don't want. I don't want to sit here and be that guy, but again, I'd maybe take that as well, just for the narrative of the thing. But this is the Bears, Chicago podcast. I don't want to do that, I guess, but I don't know. I can see why that's probably going to be a hammer. Public's probably going to hammer the shit out of that.
Yeah, looking at it, Patriots put up 38 on the Browns last week, and Browns, similar situation, similar looking team to the Bears. Good run game, defense is and the Patriots put up 38 on them.
Yeah, so, Nick Chubb looked like a pedestrian last week. I think he only had like 56 yards on like 12 attempts. He didn't score, didn't really do anything in the pass game. Just they really got around to shutting him down, and it was the Ramondre Stevenson show, and I'm sure that's probably going to be the same exact game plan. We were already saying it earlier, like it doesn't really matter if it's Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi. It could be the fucking custodian on the second floor of the building. Anyone can just hand it. If you can hand it off to Ramondre Stevenson or Damian Harris, whoever ends up playing, you're probably gonna end up having a solid W. Just gonna rely on the defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Tim. Go ahead.
My betting on this game is going to come down to quarterback. I'm in my spread pool that I run every year. And I think it's going to be open up at 7.5 when we're able to do picks tomorrow. I'm going to base it solely off quarterback. If it's Zappy, I might take the Patriots to cover the 7.5. If it's Mac, I think the Bears cover.
That's fair.
I just don't believe in Mac Jones.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah, he's stinky. I don't know. I don't really like him either. He's about as bus driver as it gets when it comes to quarterbacks. When
Bailey Zappi's showing us how to be successful in the NFL, listen to Bill Belichick and his, whoever the hell the offensive coordinator is, and just listen to them and don't turn the ball over and you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Bailey Zappi's been killing it on the year, just under 600 yards, 4 tutties, 1 interception. He hasn't played fucking awful. He has not played awful. He hasn't played, he's played good for the Patriots in the 3 games that he's played in this year. So who knows? I mean, knowing the Patriots and knowing Bill Belichick, they just found another Tom Brady in this kid. So we'll fucking see, though. I agree with Tim. If Bailey Zappi wins, might be might be minus 7.5 for the Patriots. If Mac Jones plays, probably be a little closer because I don't trust that dude neither.
Makes total sense. Did you have guys anything else wrapping up on this game, or we can move on to any other games that we're looking forward to this week?
That's all I got on the Bears.
Yeah, I think that's all. That's about it for the Bears. Take the over on Justin Fields' rushing yards, whatever it is. He's going to be running for his life the rest of the year until he either breaks his leg or gets concussed. He'll be hitting that fucking over every single week because we ain't protecting that dude for shit.
Make sure to bet on a tight end to score a touchdown. National Tight End Day this weekend.
Oh, come on, Cole Kmet.
Yeah, exactly. Get someone in there.
No, he ain't scoring a fucking touchdown.
I got nice. We did our fantasy show the other day, and we put together a nice little parlay, but don't have the odds on it just yet. But I'll do that just later. But yeah, like I said, we can get into some games that we're looking forward to. You kind of mentioned it. Not a lot to look forward to, but some games are better than others, I suppose. I don't know if you guys wanted to start off, or I got a couple listed right here. I mean, there's a clear cut. There's a clear cut number one. I think we should just start off Chiefs Niners. I mean,
yeah, we could start off there. I think that's going to be the highlight of this fucking week because, like you said, this is an ugly week of games, but that should be a decent one there. I think what is that 3:00 Sunday?
Yeah, it's another 3:25 start, I believe,
in San Francisco. Yeah, two of the top teams out there. I think 3-3. Yeah, 3-3 for the Niners, then 4-2 for the fucking Chiefs. So Chiefs actually 3-point favorites in this one. What's the over under on this one? I don't have it in front of me.
I don't know either. The over.
Probably around 50. I think around 50.
48.5.
Okay.
48.5. So yeah, there you go. I'd probably slam that too.
You got angry Patrick Mahomes. The Niners have been decent all year. Get a little Debo, Jeff Wilson action going. I'm seeing this game be a high score. It's going to be what everybody thought last week's Bills-Chiefs game was going to be. A lot of scoring, I think.
Yeah, I like that idea. I mean, yeah, Jeff Wilson Jr., he fumbled, but he still led the team in rushing. So, I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs, they like to give up a lot of rushing. I know Josh Jacobs had his fucking career game already this season against the Kansas City Chiefs. So they can keep that going. They could probably roll Tevin Coleman in a little bit as well. I'm sure they'll be able to stick to their game script, but they're going to try and do their best to make Jimmy Garoppolo throw the ball. That's clearly their Achilles heel and what makes them not win games. But also going to rely on maybe if Nick Bosa plays or not. I'm not entirely sure what his health is at this moment. So that's probably going to be a big deal. So either way, I mean, going to be very exciting. I'll be looking forward to the Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce catch little fucking hook right there. Maybe if Juju Smith-Schuster looks, like he looked okay last week. He actually had a nice little breakout game, but it clearly shows that like Tyreek Hill would have broke away way faster and got away instead of Juju Smith-Schuster getting caught up and getting tackled. So I guess that's the big takeaway from that. Like, what's the big effect of Tyreek Hill? One of those plays, Tyreek Hill would have been fucking gone in 2 seconds. So yeah, all around, I'm gonna be looking forward to that one. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, definitely got to throw Kelce in that tight end touchdown parlay.
He's in there.
Do you throw Kittle in it?
I didn't as of right now. I mean, he had a nice game.
Neither.
He had a nice game. He's still looking like he's going to be he's like the 7th offensive tackle out there, the 6th offensive tackle. So
yeah, honestly, he looks like a 3rd, maybe even 4th option on that offense right now. It's just, I think he's just that good of a blocker, and with that offensive line, you want to run the ball a lot. So, Ayuk had a great game. Debo is obviously their number one. He hasn't been like their go-to guy like a lot of these other tight ends. Andrews, Kelce, they're respectively leading their teams in receptions and yards and shit. Kittle could be that, but this is just a run-heavy offense. It's just a run-heavy offense. He had a couple injury issues, and I guess it's a blessing and a curse. When you're that good of a blocker, you're gonna block more, and it's just like to see him get a little more involved in the pass game because a lot of people got fucked over in fantasy drafting this dude. But maybe they should implement, blocking points for tight ends. How fucking stupid would that be?
Very.
I think this is a classic Shanahan. He's just rocking us all to sleep, letting Kittle get healthy, and then halfway through the season, whenever Georgie is as healthy as he's going to get, he's going to explode. I mean, it's like they use Kyle Juszczyk. Kyle Juszczyk, you barely know he's on the roster for a few weeks, and all of a sudden he's got 4 or 5 catches, 4 or 5 rushes in a game, and making an impact. I think that's what they're doing with Kittle right now.
Yeah, makes total sense. A couple more games, but do you guys want to focus on anyone that you're looking forward to?
I think game of the week this week is going to be the Giants and the Jaguars.
There you go. I got that on my.
As disgusting as that sounds, I think that's going to be game of the week. Jaguars have a great run defense. Giants just want to run the shit out of the ball. I think it's going to come down to 2 points. I think Dable's going to put his balls on the line again, and it's going to be one of those games where Dable's got to put his balls on the line to win this game.
How are the Jaguars favorites?
I guess
Probably
just being at home.
What is going on?
I think that they're just getting the 3 points at home as of right now.
Fuck home away. The Giants, I think they've deserved some more respect after this, 5-1 start to the year.
As shitty as the Jags have looked, they've never really been out of games. I mean, they lost last week to the Colts by like a touchdown. They had like a long 10-minute drive, so they're never really out of it. I see how they can be favorited, but I got the Giants in my list. I like their money line. I like the spread. I'm gonna still ride with the hot hand, but I can kind of see how this, maybe not the fairy tale ending, but they can chalk up a loss right here. I see it, but I'm still gonna ride with the Giants, I think.
Yeah, I think what's doing it for the Jags is the rush defense. They're averaging like 95 yards a game, giving up on for their defense and rushing. So they're just cranking down everybody's rush games.
Yeah, and
we all know if the game gets put in Daniel Jones's hands, it's over.
Absolutely.
And I think the Jaguars offense with those young kids is starting to come alive with Trevor Lawrence, ETN starting to get more involved, and that's going to be dangerous when he starts going. But yeah, I think it's going to be a close game, but yeah, I'm surprised this wasn't like even a pick 'em game. I'm surprised they gave the Jaguars the favorite in this game.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense when Saquon is the core of this offense. Go ahead, Bill.
I got a question for you guys, maybe a little advice here. Tim, maybe you're a little biased, but who do I start in fantasy this week? Do I finally pull the trigger and bench Tom Brady and go with Trevor Lawrence, or do I keep Brady out there against the Panthers?
I mean, I might have some bias too because I have Brady. I'm going to roll with Brady against Carolina. I think Carolina is absolutely fucking putrid. They're in Carolina. That still might not even matter. It's a division game. He's there. He's been there a couple times now. I'm going to roll with it. I mean, it's kind of been hard. You were still kind of along the lines of, is Tampa Bay going to like click and figure it out? But
I know I'm waiting for that fucking moment.
I mean, do you want to be benching him when he does, or do you want to still just roll the dice? I mean, this could. I know we said it last. I kind of said it last week with the Steelers, but this could be the little fucking breakout game. This big.
I think this is the game for Brady. I've got him in another league. I'm starting him. I've got him. Yeah. I'm starting over Derek Carr. Carr's going against Houston. I'm still going Brady against Carolina. I think Carolina is in such a bad spot right now. I think Brady will have maybe his finally coming out game for this season.
I fucking hope so, dude. My fantasy team needs it.
Yeah, I think you.
But on the other end, Trevor Lawrence hasn't been playing bad. He's putting up a lot of yards. He's rushing the ball a little bit. I think he had 1 or 2 rushing touchdowns last week. So I don't know. His
problem's just been turnovers and like in bunches in games. I think he had the four fumble game, and then he had like 3 interceptions the following game after. So it's just been turnovers like that.
That Giants D is nothing to mess around with either.
Exactly. I can't.
Maybe Julian Love for an interception? Question mark. Get another one.
Yeah. He's just been playing. He's been balling out lately, man.
I'm liking that.
That whole defense has.
I think you can live with. Can you live with Lawrence on your bench going off and then Tom Brady having like an okay 20-point game as opposed to like
that's what I've been dealing with all day.
Yeah, Lawrence puts up 5 and Brady finally has his breakout game. Can you live with that vice? I don't know.
I can't.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you go with Brady. I think that's my there. Yeah, do you guys any more on the?
Let's see. I got a fucking game of the week here. This is gonna be this one's gonna fucking shock the nation. I'm gonna make sure to fucking tune into this one.
Okay.
Sunday noon on Fox. Falcons Bengals.
Ooh.
Now the Falcons have been the surprise. I'm not gonna say the surprise of the league. Gambling wise, they've been the surprise of the league. They're 6-0 against the fucking spread this year. And they're going up against a high-powered offense who seems to finally be clicking, even, with T. Higgins questionable the last couple weeks. Joe Burrow, the rest of the Bengals offense, Jamar Chase finally putting it together. That offense looks like after a rough first 3 weeks of not being able to protect Joey B, they're finally meshing. They're finally giving this guy a little bit of time to throw the ball. And when he gets a little bit of time, look at the numbers he's been putting up the last couple weeks. Throwing it. Jamar goes off last week. Joe Burrow has a big day, actually rushed in for a touchdown. How do I know that? Because he beat me in fantasy. Fuck you, AJ. But I think this is going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. They have the over under at 47.5. I'm going to hit that. I'm going to hammer that 47.5 over right there. This Falcons offense and just team in general has been very feisty and very fucking pesky and just finding ways to stay in fucking games this year. So 47.5 is the over under. Bengals are -6. I would take either. I would take the over and the Falcons +6 in this one. So, I mean, hey, they're 6-0 against the spread. Ride it until it fucking dies. So
I'm absolutely.
I think,
Falcons.
yeah, I think both teams 3-3. I think the Bengals win this one, and finally, in that AFC North, that's a little bit of a question mark right now with, just the way the Ravens have been blowing fucking games. I think this could be a big game to get them to 4-3 and maybe establish themselves at the top of the AFC North. So that's a game I'm definitely going to be watching.
Yeah, I'm absolutely with you. I'm riding Falcons plus whatever the number ends up being. If it's 6 right now, I'm taking it. I might even take Falcons money line. They're one of the best coach teams. Arthur Smith's doing a hell of a job out there. The offense is clean right now with Mariota. He hasn't been turning the ball over. Like to see him get Drake London involved again. He kind of disappeared after the first couple of weeks, but keep getting Kyle Pitts involved and keep running the shit out of the ball. The Falcons are showing everybody how to win without good quarterback play, really.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the only thing I'm gonna disagree with is your over under. I would take the under. The way that both these teams would kind of run the ball. Like Joe Mixon, I'm sure could probably get 25 touches on the ground. They'll probably run Algier and Huntley at least 20, 30 times each. And then Marcus Mariota himself will probably get 10 rushes. This game could be over in 2 hours, and just in the way that they're going to rush the ball and rush it. So looking last week, you can't really rely on that. But the Falcons had a defensive touchdown. I don't think that's going to happen again. Something like that. So maybe the Bengals. I'm sure they'll end up scoring and winning and whatnot, but I don't really see this being that high of an output. I just don't see it. I don't know. Bengals offense altogether just very conservative. You there, Bill? Oh, maybe Bill. There. Oh, there you go. Maybe Bill's having a couple issues. That's okay. Yeah, either way, I got if you got no more on that one, I got one more.
Oh, you guys hear me?
Yeah, there you go. Now
yeah, this mic's all fucked up over here. I'm gonna throw it against the fucking wall. But yeah, we're back. Okay.
Yeah, you're no problem. You got anything lasting on the Bengals and
no, I think we fucking hit about everything else. What other games you guys looking forward to? Because there are none that I am.
I had one more, possibly two, if you want to talk about this one. You kind of touched upon the other one, but Seahawks Chargers, I think, again, one of those things where, like, earlier in the year, you probably wouldn't have been fucking excited about it at all, but the Seahawks have just been way better than expected. Little lackadaisical last week, couldn't really get DK Metcalf or Lockett involved, but they did just good enough against the Cardinals, because the Cardinals offense is that's a question mark. That's so crazy, but they're getting DeAndre Hopkins back. But sidebar, either way, Chargers, Seahawks, they got this at like 51. I can see why. The Seahawks defense doesn't really play defense, and you can probably find holes in the Chargers defense as well. Still questionable for Keenan Allen. He hasn't played all season, so probably won't really be a problem. I'll still be just kind of looking forward to it. Obviously, with my bias, I got Eckler on my team. He's one of my guys. But all in all, just watching Justin Herbert and honestly, again, just watching Geno Smith work has been pretty fun this season. So I'll be watching that. If I could have the option for an extra TV, I'd say, hey, put the Chargers in the Seahawks game on. It's gonna be high scoring.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good game. I think a lot of people, Bill makes the donkey noise at people for letting him get Justin Jefferson. Anybody that drafted Austin Eckler should be making donkey noises at everybody. He's RB1, and I think he's going to continue to be RB1. A dude, he doesn't run the ball very much, but the dude gets catches, touchdowns. When he does run the ball, it's pretty effective. He is RB1 right now, and I think that's definitely gonna be an exciting game. You're gonna have two good running backs in that game. You got him and Kenneth Walker emerging. I think Rashad Penny's gonna be looking for a job next year.
Oh, absolutely. That's very unfortunate for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was talking about it last week. Kenneth Walker could be some definite. He's gonna put up a nice little game. I'm sure he's gonna rely on him. I think that's probably why DK Metcalf and Lockett just didn't really get too much of a shine. Besides, like they're probably locked down a little bit and just yeah. I mean, they were able to rely on Kenneth Walker and he was actually able to move the ball. I'm sure. I don't know if he scored or not, but yeah, he had a nice little game.
It's going to open up stuff for DK and Tyler Lockett later in the season. If they keep running the ball with him effectively, it's going to open
absolutely
up those two for sure.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Do you guys think Justin Herbert will throw a touchdown pass in this game against the Seahawks?
He has to.
Yeah.
How fucking shitty of a fucking beat was that on Monday night? DraftKings boosts his prop bet for one touchdown pass from -800 to +100. And everybody and their mama is fucking hammering it, and he doesn't have one touchdown pass.
Yeah, that's where we're a points bet podcast. Points bet, code SYS9. They don't fuck you over there. They tried to make it up by I forgot what they had. It was I don't know. It was something that was -1,000 to be +100. Someone to get a hit or something to get someone to do something. I forgot what it was. Oh, sorry. It was Kevin Durant over 20 points tonight in their Brooklyn opener, which I mean he averages like 32, so it's possible, but I don't know. He's very fragile. He can go down very early.
Snake too.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to rely on that guy. So you can just have my $10. It was the $10 I was going to give Allen anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, fuck Allen.
Crazy part about the Herbert thing too is he threw 57 passes and no touchdowns.
Yeah, that was
that's insane, dude. That is insane.
It hurt so bad. It hurt. It hurt watching that one.
Everyone's like, yeah, I got fucking $10. I'm gonna get some fucking McDonald's tomorrow with this extra $10, and now it's just down the fucking drain.
Herbert could have bought you lunch.
Yeah. Donkeys. I love making that noise. Still can't believe I got Diggs and Jefferson 9 and 10. Get the fuck out of here. Or 10 and 11, whatever picks I had.
Last one I had on the docket, if you guys got any more, it was just Browns Ravens. Didn't really have too much on it. Just going to be a divisional game. Probably going to be maybe an ugly one. I don't really have the numbers in front of me, but Ravens going to probably be looking back to just bounce back and get right. But I'm sure Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt will try and run all over them. I don't know if you had anything on this game.
Lamar would quit turning the fucking ball over in the second half. They would blow some more teams out. All their losses have been blowing leads. Lamar's going to quit turning the ball over in the second half, and they'll be all right.
That's very true. Very true.
Maybe lean on those running backs. AJ is the curse of running backs this year. He picked up fucking Dobbins, so now Dobbins isn't going to do a goddamn thing. So maybe if AJ drops Dobbins, maybe they'll start running the ball with him.
Yeah. How about Kenyon Drake being fantasy relevant? Ugh, gross. On like 8 carries at like 100 yards. Like
Latavius Murray in the Broncos game the other night. It's like, where are you coming from?
Oh Jesus, yeah, just shouldn't be names that are coming up right now. And again, like just to throw up in there again, like
who was the other guy? Who was the guy on the 49ers, Slavin Ahmed or something like that? Didn't he have like a 74-yard touchdown run or something like that? Yeah, like he's fantasy relevant this week. What the fuck's going on?
Disgusting.
Just names you definitely don't want to hear. Names your mother just doesn't sound good.
Yeah, I think this Browns Ravens game, I'll give the win to the Ravens, but I also think put one ball on the line, maybe not 2 balls, but 1 ball on the line that the Browns do cover it. I think it'll be a close game, maybe Maybe a last second field goal by Justin Tucker wins it, but +6 for the Browns.
Okay.
I like that one.
Okay.
I think they keep this within a touchdown.
Yeah, that makes sense. They can keep it respectable. It can be one of those games too. Yeah, it just comes down to a touchdown and Nick Chubb just doesn't get into the end zone or something.
Yeah, like this is just how I know it's gonna hit. They got on ESPN here the fucking, the predictions, the lines and everything. They predict the final score is going to be 25-21, but the Ravens are -6. So I don't know how that fucking works. That's simple math. I know I'm not the smartest guy ever, but 25 minus 21 is, less than 6. So Browns +6, you fucking idiots.
Yeah, there we go. Math is easy. Words are hard
for some people.
Yeah. If you got nothing else on games, I got a couple of bets I wanted to review, and then
I got a couple more games I want to touch on.
Yeah, shoot.
All right, I got a couple upsets, so I'm going to see what your guys' reactions are to these. I don't know if this one's technically an upset, but Jets over Broncos just because Russell Wilson sucks.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Broncos. I don't care what the line is. I haven't looked at it, but
I think it's a pick 'em right now. Last night the Jets were plus 105 on the money line. Right now they're, like I said, it's a pick 'em minus 105.
Yeah, I'm taking the Jets. Former Cyclone Brees Hall tearing up the league. We're going Jets.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get
that little Johnny kid some ice cream, damn it.
This one might shock some people, but we got a revenge game on the docket here. I'm going Steelers over the Dolphins, and here's the revenge game portion of it. Brian Flores is on the defensive coaching staff of the Steelers. Tua's back.
Jesus.
Flores hates him. Flores knows everything that's wrong with Tua. They're going to take his head off. I think the Steelers are going to beat the Dolphins. I hope Tua doesn't get his head taken off because I have him on my fantasy team stashed. I don't think Tua should be playing this week anyways, but that's a whole other argument. But I think Brian Flores, Minkah Fitzpatrick, revenge game against the Dolphins. I think they beat the Steelers beat the Dolphins this week.
Yeah, it's gonna be an ugly Sunday night game. I could see that realistically happening too. It's just a matter of if Kenny Pickett or Mitch Trubisky. I don't know. I mean, I know they're gonna try and run Kenny Pickett out. I think they said if Kenny Pickett's ready, they're gonna go. But realistically, with this new concussion protocol, I don't even know if that's feasible.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be Mitch. But still, Mitchapalooza and Brian Flores take it home.
Yeah, I like that.
Then the other one I got to highlight is I'm taking the Raiders over the Texans, but I think the Texans are going to cover. I think it's -7 for the Raiders right now. I'm taking the Texans to cover that. Lovie Smith, tough coach, going to keep it close. Raiders, best 1-4 team in the league. But yeah, I think I'm going to the Texans to cover.
Yeah, no, not the worst decision. I mean, that's pretty good too. I know the Raiders like to give up a lot of, at least just fantasy wise. You can maybe. It's a stretch. I know you're probably not very excited about it, but Davis Mills possibly, if you got some bye weeks. A guy like Josh Allen is on his bye, but I don't know. I like the idea of them covering. They're both they're coming off their bye weeks, so they got some rest.
Tim, you think the Raiders are the best 1-4 team in football?
Absolutely. There's a ton of talent on that football team.
No, I'm taking Lions. Raiders are frauds.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm taking a Lions.
I know. I don't know. As much as we love Dan Campbell, he's shown that he's more of like a motivational speaker and less of a head coach. I think at this point. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I got some faith in him. Just I like the guy. He's got grit. But I would definitely lean towards the Raiders 1-4 being the better 1-4 team. Yeah.
All right. Last couple notes I have. God damn it! Now my dogs are barking.
That's all right.
Packers and Commanders. Watch out for Taylor Heineke. Packers. Mike Fatigato. All you bum Packer fans, you better watch out. Taylor Heineke's back.
That's pretty good. I mean, I don't know about that, but shoot, yeah. I mean, I'll just be rooting for Brian Robinson Jr. I mean, I guess that's a nice little story there.
I'm so sick of hearing that guy got shot. After the Thursday night game, I wanted to throw up hearing how many times that guy got shot. You'd think he got shot in the face. I mean, good for the guy for, unfortunately, having his house broken into and getting shot, but God damn, Amazon, find something else to talk about this guy. Look up something good he did in high school or college or something.
Yeah.
I know they're talking about it so much. He sounds like fucking 50 Cent. Like he got shot 10 times, dude. No, he got one to the fleshy part of the thigh. You ever see that episode of The Sopranos? Is Bobby Baclieri shoots the one fucking black rapper in a fucking leg, says it was getting some clout. It's just that's what happened. Brian Robinson's like, listen, I need to get my name out there. He fucking pulled a Jesse Smollett, faked the fucking home invasion, said, hey, just shoot me in the leg. I'll be out 2-3 weeks, and then I'm gonna score my first touchdown against the Bears. And that's exactly what happened. So everything's staged, everything's fake. This guy isn't 50 Cent. He ain't even 25 cents. I'm gonna call him fucking nickel from now on. So I don't want to hear
us getting
about
sued. This is parody. This is a parody.
Hey.
This is a parody at part
I don't want to hear
podcast.
nothing about him getting shot anymore. That's over. He's back. He's healthy. He scored a touchdown. Now let's move on from the shooting.
All right, I got one other NFL note. Outside of just, I think we can all agree the Thursday night game is going to suck, right?
Yeah, it is.
Cardinals
Yeah.
and Saints, that's going to be ugly.
Yeah.
Where's Christian McCaffrey going?
Oh boy, we kind of talked about this the other day. I mean, it's been up in the air between the Bills, the Rams, and other. I don't know.
I still say the Broncos, but I don't know if the Broncos got the draft capital to go out and bring in McCaffrey. They already got rid of 2 first rounders and 2 second rounders for Russell Wilson, so they'd have to fucking try and figure something else out. But they're definitely in need of a running back because you saw Mike Boone did shit. Latavius Murray did all right. And then, Melvin Gordon, there's that picture of him sitting on the sideline, just looking all pissed off. They obviously don't have no faith in him. So, where I want him to go off of my fantasy team for 2 or 3 other players. So anyone in the Grease League listening, he is still available. So someone please send me a trade offer for him. But in terms of real life, I still think, maybe the Broncos or the Bills. If he goes to the Bills, I'll keep him around. And
I got a wild card. I got 2 wild cards I've been thinking, and they're both out west. I think it'd be really interesting on either side. The Niners or the Rams.
I was kind of leaning towards the Rams the other day. I kind of in the same realm. They've traded away, I felt like, every single one of their first round picks. But I mean, their offensive line has kind of been question mark. They only had the one returning offensive lineman. They kind of highlighted that the other day. But I don't know. I'm sure Christian McCaffrey will be between Christian McCaffrey and Cooper Kupp. They'd have the highlight of the white guys on that fucking team. They'd just be white lightning right there.
And then you can swing passes. You could do enough with Christian that you can help that offensive line. And then the Niners would just be the Kyle Shanahan imagination with running backs would just be ridiculous with Christian there.
Imagine that Cooper Kupp, Ben Skoranek, Tyler Higbee, a fucking Matthew Stafford and CMC. Yeah. Oh, dude, if they won a Super Bowl, that would be more impressive than the 17-0 fucking Dolphins than any. That would be better than 85 Bears. And 5 white guys white guys on offense lead you to a Super Bowl. That's more impressive than anything.
If we're staying in that realm, are you more excited to be for him fantasy wise? I feel like it's more beneficial that he goes on the Rams instead of the Niners, because the Niners have Jeff Wilson Jr., they have Eli Mitchell still in the realms, Tevin Coleman. If they threw in Christian McCaffrey, they'd have 4 guys, obviously 3 right now fully healthy, but I mean, if he's the Rams, if he's the Rams, he's the clear-cut number 1 with Darrell Henderson right behind him. They're trying to trade Cam Akers. I mean, I feel like that would be the spot on part right there. But
the only crazy part about the Niners would be Shanahan would do some crazy shit, like still line up Jeff Wilson in the backfield and make McCaffrey like a slot receiver too. Like he'd do crazy shit like that and put McCaffrey out in the slot and like do all sorts of weird shit with him.
Oh yeah, he would have a fucking field day with that guy. I feel it's just so crazy.
He'd have to wear a towel over his fucking pants. He'd have a hard on the whole fucking game, calling plays with CMC in that offense.
I hope so. I hope so, dude.
Oh fuck. All righty. Oh my god. Yeah, that's some pretty good spots. If you guys anything else on that, I got some best bets, underdog plays, a tight end parlay, and then we can wrap it up with anything else.
Yeah,
yeah, sounds good.
Awesome. Kind of already highlighted during this talk, so I'll keep it light on these, and then get to the other one. Giants +3 money line. I'll take that as well for best bets of the week. +3. Fuck, we already said we're right with that. You already dabbled into it as well. Jets, it turned into a pick 'em. I was able to lock it in money line at +105 and get their spread
Nice.
at plus 1.5 the other night. So fuck it, Jets. They're young and they're ready to go. So I feel like they're gonna that. And then another one, I'll fuck it. I'll even throw the under in that game. Those are two fucking defenses that they're just really rock solid. That the offense, the Broncos defense, I think they've only allowed 1 touchdown, so it's been pretty decent. There's been a stinker of fucking primetime games, but their defense is locking it down. And I got it up here. It is what it is. We'll play it by ear with the quarterback, but Patriots -8. Yeah, it's just we'll just roll with the narrative. You can hate on it. You can throw fucking popcorn and gum at me all you want. I understand, but I just got to bet with my head on this one, not with my heart. My one underdog play. I mean, obviously the Giants and the Jets are kind of the little underdog plays in themselves, getting some plus money, but just say fuck it and have some fun. Lions +250 going up against the Cowboys. Just be fun for Dak Prescott to come back in his first game and end up losing, and then for everyone to be like, "Oh, Roy Cooper Rush back in. We needed a Cooper Rush, not Dak Prescott." So, figured those would be pretty good. Have you guys got any individual plays that we didn't highlight? I figure you guys can go over that before I throw in my National Tight End Day parlay that we went over.
Ooh, National Tight End Day. Yeah, I'll just stick with my nice little fucking 3-leg parlay of the week. Always like to throw them together. Unfortunately, last week lost again, thanks to the Atlanta Falcons beating the 49ers. So fuck me, but this one's hitting this
the Steelers
week.
also beat the Buccaneers. I rode with you on that one.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was the other leg of that one. Let's see. This one's going to be nice and plain and simple to the point. We're going to take the Chargers -250 over to Seahawks. I think, they're 4-2. They're going to establish they're one of the top teams in the AFC, hopefully get to 5-2, get Justin Herbert a touchdown pass this week. So I'm going to take the Chargers on the money line. We're going to ride with the Bengals to beat the Falcons. Again, like I said, this is a huge game, 3-3. If they can get to 4-3, and that puts them in at least a tie for first place in that AFC North. So I'm gonna take the Bengals over the Falcons, and then easy one, nice lock, -500 Tampa Bay over the Panthers. The Panthers might not win a game the rest of the season. So the Chargers, the Bengals, the Bucks comes out to +129. You use your boost on points bet using promo code SYS9, comes out to +145. So Chargers, Bengals, Bucks, lock it in. That's going to be my play for the weekend.
Love that. Tim, you got any individual plays you got?
I don't have any football plays, but when we're talking betting, Mr. Bildo, what are you thinking about these fights this weekend? We got a good UFC card. What sucks is it's at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
I've heard this card's gonna be fucking juicy. I try.
It is.
I'm the outsider looking in all the time with UFC, but I've heard a lot of good hype about this fucking card.
Yeah, it is, dude. Oliveira, Mahashev, however you want to say his name, TJ Dillashaw versus Aljamain Sterling, Peter Yan, Sean O'Malley. All those three are going to be amazing fights. In terms of betting, I don't know. I'm probably not going to bet. I'm going to be rooting for Sean O'Malley just because he's our boy. Yep. I want to root for TJ Dillashaw, but he's a fucking cheater. So I'm going to root for fucking Aljamain Sterling. And then, honestly, in the main event, I have no fucking idea who's going to win that fight. That might be the toughest fight to, pick apart and break down in the history of fucking UFC with those two dudes. So
yeah,
I honestly have no fucking clue.
Both guys in the main event are super complete fighters. Obviously, it's well known Makhachev, comes from the Khabib school of fighting, but also can throw some hands like Khabib could never throw, honestly. Makhachev's hands and stand-up game are definitely more advanced than Khabib's were at this point. And Oliveira, obviously, outside of the weight problems he's had, the dude's been unbelievable. I mean, he had earlier in his career, he had points where you could get him into deep water and quit, but he's shown that that's far behind him, and he's a bad motherfucker right now. The other 2 fights, if I'm betting it, I'm going Dillashaw. I saw the pictures of him the other day. Dude looks like he's in incredible shape.
Oh,
who knows
yeah.
if he's juicing or not, but he's in incredible shape. Sterling, I can't trust Aljo, man. Since the Peter Yan fight, and then I guess he technically beat Peter Yan the second time, but in a very close, non-dramatic fashion. I think TJ gets this one, and then I'm rooting for O'Malley, but this is the most scared I think I've gone into an O'Malley fight with Peter Yan. That dude, this is a huge step up for Sean.
Oh yeah, Peter Yan's a fucking killer, dude.
And the last fight for Sean, obviously it ended in the draw or whatever with the eye poke. This is the hugest step up in competition that Sean's gone after, and he's going after one of the top 5 guys in the world right now in that weight class. And Sean's got the length. I think if he keeps Peter away from him, he can take him. But if he gets stuck in that phone booth with Peter Yan, watch the fuck out.
Yeah, it could be ugly. He could get fucking dropped real quick.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to pull up these odds on there myself.
This is weird that they're like a fight card that big. Like those 3 fights are absolutely stacked ass fucking main event level fights, all 3 of them, and for it to be on at fucking 1 p.m. Central Time is just so weird by the UFC.
I mean,
they want that to be prime. I know,
Saudi,
but I get that they're in Saudi Arabia, but you want to make sure that fight is fucking prime time for the entire world to see. Not like you put fight night cards at 1 p.m. on Saturdays.
To be fair, isn't this all like is it gonna be all replayable on ESPN Plus in the?
Oh yeah, it's all
okay.
Yeah, but no one likes watching fucking replays, dude.
Okay.
I mean, 3 fights of this caliber, it's got to be Saturday night pay-per-view. That's when everybody's out. That's when everybody's tuning in. Not 1 p.m. That's when you go to the pumpkin patch with your girlfriend.
Yeah,
not tune into the fucking. Maybe like this is not being facetious or being over dramatic. Charles Oliveira in Islam is one of the most interesting fights we've had in recent history in UFC. Like it's that fucking hyped up, and both of these fighters, like Tim said, are damn near perfect fighters. So I feel like they'd want to fucking expose this to as many people as possible.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Sean O'Malley plus money before. It's gonna be
a heavy favorite. So
I mean Peter Yan, former fucking champ too. So I mean this is gonna be an amazing card, and I even think winner of that Peter Yan, Sean O'Malley, probably next in line for a title match against Aljamain or TJ Dillashaw, whoever wins that one.
Yeah, and the other thing the UFC is fighting with is you got playoff baseball Saturday. I know it doesn't start till 4:00 Central, but you got playoff baseball, you got college football. You're just gonna get lost in the college football world, and with how many places, especially in Chicago, are specialized bars to colleges, this isn't going to be viewed in America as much as it should.
Exactly. I mean, Saturday afternoon is fucking pumpkin picking. It's garage sailing, and it's college football. Like that's what it is.
The diehards will watch it, and I'm sure that this is going to be one of those where, I mean, if they're doing it across overseas and stuff like that, they just want to get the international.
They're doing it because the Saudis are giving them fucking $3 billion in blood money.
And that's exactly why it's such a stacked card, because they want, just similar to how like the WWE does it, they just they pick and choose, like, oh, we want this guy, we want this guy, and we want this guy. And they're like, okay, here you go, handcraft you a fucking main event card. So there you go. That's what they do.
Yeah, and I think they've had a couple duds out in Abu Dhabi too. So I think this might be a makeup from Dana White, giving him a ton of fucking big time fights.
Makes a ton of sense. Yeah. They just want to keep that blood money flowing. That's all you want. If you got nothing else on that, unfortunately it'd be hard to kind of fucking flip it back to my tight end parlay going from UFC back to NFL.
Mark Andrews did not practice this week. Take him out of the tight end parlay. Jim.
Oh man, you might have to. That's
and
unfortunately
Lamar
that's
Jackson limited to a hip injury.
Ooh. Oh, my hip. I always see that. I think Deontay Johnson's got the same thing. I'm like, what are these 90-year-old fucking players? Like, God damn it. Unfortunately, like I said, don't have the odds on it just yet, but these are the 6 names that I was going to be rolling with. Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, Hayden Hurst, Robert Tonyan, TJ Hawkinson, and Daniel Bellinger. Those were the 6 guys we're going to
Ooh,
roll with.
I like Bellinger. That one's a greasy one.
Yeah, I think that one's going to be the icing on the cake. This is going to be, I mean, I'm sure Kelsey and Andrews, if Andrews plays, I'm sure Kelsey Andrews kind of be like minus 125, but a guy like Bellinger and Hawkinson are definitely going to juice it up a little bit. So when that's for sure going to be, when I finally do have the odds on that, I'll lock it in. We'll throw it up on the DAAAgenerates podcast page. Hopefully you'll ride with it, fade with it, do whatever you want with it. Anything else wrapping up before we get into, I got NBA, MLB wrestling before we clock out of here.
Bill, I put a World Series bet down. Who do you think I took for the World Series? I don't know if I told you this already.
You took San Diego.
San Diego, the last 6 World Series champions have beaten the Dodgers. They beat the Dodgers. To me, it's too easy. I know Game 2 is going right now. They didn't look too hot last night on offense, but I'm rolling with the Padres to win the World Series.
Dude, how about that fucking home run Kyle Schwarber hit? It still hasn't landed. Jesus Christ.
It went through 17 buildings and killed 18 fucking people already. It got hit so fucking hard. 120 miles off the bat.
Shit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even want to know who that ball was hit towards. They're
hopefully
probably
they had a glove, maybe hopefully 2 gloves or something.
Yeah, hopefully they were one of the people that bring a glove to the ballpark. You know, a lot of those people get made fun of, but Jesus, I hope they
save lives.
Yeah.
Or in my case, at the Sox game, broke that dude's nose. Fuck him.
It is what it is. Yeah, no, Schwarber definitely put on his best fucking Bo Jackson impersonation. 120 off the bat, 488 up in the balcony. I mean, I'm watching the game right now. I don't know if he's up just yet, but yeah, still nothing. Philly's got 2 runners on with no outs right now, top of the second. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah. That was a bomb. That was a bomb. And then I think the Padres were only held to one hit on that day. The fuck, who was? I
think it was 1 hit by Wheeler, 4 hits overall, maybe.
Yeah,
because Wheeler was awesome last night.
Yeah, he had a nice little outing. So yeah,
I think Nola's going today, and he's been great in the playoffs so far.
Yeah. Aaron Nola versus Austin Nola, the brothers. I think Aaron Nola, the pitcher, versus Austin Nola, the San Diego Padres catcher. So it'll be fun to watch today. Probably at least I would think probably 2 at bats. I think Nola's probably going to go like the same 6 or 7 innings deep. But overall, this has been pretty solid. A lot of people are kind of saying just what's your guys' opinion on this? Because I've seen this article and it's actually legit. I thought it was an Onion Sports article, but writers are genuinely complaining about the structure of this playoff format, saying that the top tier seeds are getting fucked because of this rest. Dude,
then intentionally lose at the end of the year.
They're getting rest. They're getting rest, home field advantage, and they can start their number 1 and number 2 against their 3 and 4 guy. I understand that these baseball players are weird and they need to get in their routines, and if you fuck that up, that could fuck up their day. But it's ridiculous. It's an outlier. It's a complete outlier when the Yankees and the Astros are both ready to go. You can argue, the Yankees went 5, but if they don't blow that 3-run lead in the 9th inning, they would have won in 4 games, no problem. So what are you guys thinking about that? I think it's absolutely
throw simulated games, throw bullpens. If your pitchers are going to whine that much, throw bullpens, throw simulated games so you keep them on their schedule for the playoffs. Or like Bill said, fucking do the Tony La Russa and tank at the end of the fucking year so everybody's feeling good and healthy.
If you really think it's going to affect your fucking team that much, don't win your division. Don't win 100+ games.
Yeah.
Like those 3 things that Nick, you just mentioned, they're all positives for your fucking team. I don't give a fuck if you have an extra day or 2 off. It's ridiculous that they're saying it's not fair to get home field advantage. It's not fair to get that extra rest. It's not fair to get your top 1, 2, 3 pitchers going to start off a series is absolutely bullshit.
I got people.
It's just people fucking complaining, dude. It's just. I guarantee you, whoever wrote that fucking article was a Dodger fan or a Braves fan complaining that their team fucking lost.
Well, and here's the thing on the Dodgers too. If you're the Dodgers, you could very easily, if you've got time off and you want to keep your bats, seeing live pitching. The Dodgers have guys that are not on that playoff roster that can throw the damn ball. Have them go out on the mound and throw live pitches to your guys. Do that while, Bueller was hurt, but while everybody else is throwing bullpen sessions and simulated games, have your guys that are your pitchers not on the playoff roster throwing pitches to live hitters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this idea and this argument that like, oh, they get to relax and sit on the couch and do nothing. Well, that's their fault if they're just relaxing and sitting on the couch and not preparing for the next upcoming series. It's just an absolute joke of an argument. I don't like when these $1 million fucking ball athletes or whatever, they're trying to stick up for them or say something like that. It's just it's a bad take. And again, considering when the Yankees and the Astros swept. I know it took them 18 innings in the last game, but they swept regardless. Like they took care of what they needed to take care of. They're a different breed, I know, but they're very, very good. But it's a complete outlier. Maybe the Phillies and the Padres were just better than what you thought they were. I understand they were 22 games. The Padres were 22 games out of their division, just because the Dodgers were fucking red hot all year long. They paid for their roster, and fucking, I mean, it could also be lackadaisical. They won their division. They won a playoff berth with 3 weeks left in the season. So yeah, they probably put their feet up a long time ago. They've been mentally out of it and checked out for a while. So yeah, that's their fault for just being like that, not being bloodthirsty and ready to go. And I can kind of see why a scrappy team like the Guardians, like, you know, they were getting, you know, they just won their division or something like that, or a team just like, you know, the Mariners that were just barely chomping the bit to get a playoff berth and they got in the wild card spot. They're going to be a little bit more hungry than the guys that have been fucking sitting at the top all season long. So yeah, I get it. You can argue it's fucking momentum and everything based, but talent should always fucking triumph the fucking, I guess, the luck and everything, the momentum, the idea of that is just ridiculous.
And the other thing with the Dodgers crying too is that the Padres got hot. Look at Josh Hader. Josh Hader sucked when they got him for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Josh Hader and Juan Soto were both terrible when they were acquired. They both started playing like themselves again. And all of a sudden, that Padre team is super talented. Probably one of the only teams that can go
Manny
toe-to-toe
Machado's
with the
playing
Dodgers
like
on
an
a talent
MVP.
basis.
Juan Soto's going crazy, like you just said. Josh Hader.
They're the only team in my mind that could have gone up toe-to-toe with the Dodgers on paper and gone, yeah, okay, we're going to give them a run. And they did, and they beat them. After the Dodgers beat the hell out of them all season, you saw it turn around because the trade acquisitions actually performed like they should.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. And it's just like I said, I hate that argument. I hate millionaires crying, and I hate fucking fans trying to stick up for them and say to restructure again the playoff.
It's the same argument in the NFL when a team like, you know, dogs it in the last week of the season and they're going to get the week, you know, the bye in the playoffs, and it's the guys are rusty. Then don't rest them in week 18 or week 17. Be a fucking man and play the game.
Absolutely. If you guys had any more on MLB, you know, we really just had Yankees advancing. It's going to be Yankees Astros in game one. Again, you can maybe you're just going to be the same argument of, you know, the Astros are better, but maybe just the Yankees are more hot right now because they've been playing but I don't know. That's just, again, kind of ridiculous. I think that, at least with the pitching matchup, I think the Astros will probably end up taking game one. I think it's Verlander versus Jameson Taillon, who just fucking got lit up the last time he went out. So,
to me,
either
Houston should win that series. I think they're the better team. That fucking Pena kid who, you know, stepped in for Carlos Correa and has been phenomenal. I don't know how the hell the Astros keep just shitting players out like that.
Yeah, and then Yordan Alvarez, just it feels like every time he comes up in a key situation in the playoffs, he comes through with a big hit. So
the bailout plan.
Yeah, exactly. Him and Pena have just been, killing it. Same with Kyle Tucker over there. They still got the cheater Altuve. I don't even give a fuck who wins this series. I really don't. I can't wait for Altuve to be back in New York and just see those trash ass Yankees fans berate and fucking roast this dude with signs and chants, throw fucking garbage cans on the field. It is going to be absolutely amazing to see Yankees fans just giving this dude the fucking business.
Yeah, they're gonna finally have some sort of revenge.
Yeah. That's why I almost want the Yankees to win, just to stick it to Altuve. That's it. Like, I really don't care, but if I had to pick, I obviously wanted the Guardians to pick because they're a scrappy, fun little team, but I'll take Anthony fucking Rizzo and the Yankees just to fucking spite Jose Altuve, that fucking cheater.
Yeah, I mean,
I hope he gets beamed, dude. I hope first at bat in the Bronx, he steps up and fucking Garrett Cole throws one right at his little fucking face, dude, or little head, or whoever the fuck is pitching. Jameson Tyone, throw one at him, dude.
Garrett Cole, I mean, if you're in the Bronx, it'll probably be game 3. I think Garrett Cole probably will be the game 3 starter. I think they're looking at Tyone, Severino, and
if you're the fucking Yankees, sign CC Sabathia to a 1 year or one day contract. Like, listen, you're throwing one pitch in this game, and I want it to be at this motherfucker's jaw. Get booted out of the game. You'll get cut the next day. Bring back up whoever you want. That's how the Yankees need to set the. Imagine that. And now, starting pitcher for the Yankees, CC Sabathia. Don't tell anybody. Don't promote it. It's just game 3. It's a 1-1 series, or hell, you're even down 2-0, and you got CC coming out to start a fucking game. Dude, that would be more destructive than fucking 9/11, dude.
Oh my God.
Just bring out CC and Bean fucking Altuve and set the tone for the remainder of the series, dude.
Or what if we did a favor for baseball? Who's that guy, Bill, that was on the Reds, that tall reliever who would always yell at the Cubs and get in fights?
Amir Garrett.
They should get Amir Garrett to start game 3 in the Bronx. Just fire one off Altuve's head. And then when Amir Garrett starts yelling and starting to fight with the Astros bench, the Yankees just let him go, and the Astros just beat the shit out of him.
You guys are thinking too hard. They just got to find Aroldis Chapman somewhere down in fucking Miami. Just get a little call.
The Phillies are leading 3-0 here, Jim. 2-0, 3-0.
Get a little coffee and Aroldis Chapman and have him fucking throw 104 at Altuve's head. You know, and then just like, all right, here's
no coffee. Get that dude some straight up fucking Bronx Coke, dude, from some big fat Puerto Rican. He's got a fucking 3 chains on. He's got a Cadillac. He's got the fucking Puerto Rican flag hanging out of the back of the fucking caddy. Get some Coke off of that dude and just, hey, throw one at his fucking head. I mean, hey, fucking Altuve hit the home run, the series winning home run off of Chapman in Houston. So why not bring him back up for, a game or 2 and just throw some fucking BBs at him?
Schwarber's up right now. He's looking to fucking hit the cover off the ball. I'm
3-0 Phillies. 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Kyle Schwarber. Oh,
he just hacked it so hard, my fucking shoulder hurt. I feel like, oh my God.
He swung so hard, I blew out my L5.
Yeah.
Herniation.
God damn. That wrapped it up for me on MLB. If you got anything else on that, I can lightly touch upon NBA and we can wrap it up a little wrestling.
Yeah, let's fucking do that.
Awesome. Just like I said, we won't stay too long. I don't know if you guys got anything NBA wise, just because it's the Bulls first game of the week, first game of the year. Unfortunately, in Miami, they're 7 or 8 point dogs, and unfortunately, the news already came in. Zach LaVine gonna be out. Alex Caruso is also day to day with, I don't know. I feel like he's got Elmer Fudd disease or something stupid. He just looks like a cartoon character. Unfortunately, I don't know. I don't know if we already did like a preview or anything looking forward on the Bulls in general. They didn't add anything other than Andre Drummond, who's going to get a double every night. Sure, it's going to help on the defensive end, but the Goran Dragic, Andre Drummond, those aren't the key free agent moves that we need to acquire in order to, take down Giannis Antetokounmpo and teams that are actually going to compete. So we kind of moved. What would it be? Just move. We didn't go up and down. We just moved to the side in terms of progressing. I guess maybe a wash of a year. We're just gonna have to make sure that Zach LaVine's fully healthy. Watch Ayo Dosunmu progress, and maybe just, I don't know, DeMar DeRozan just gonna be the king of the mid range again this year. But it's possible. The East is still lighter than the West. You can maybe argue that, but the top 4 is kind of already set. Basically, going to probably be 76ers, the Celtics, the Nets, and probably like, I don't know, Atlanta or something like that. So, I'm always gonna be rooting for the Bulls here. We'll always see red over here. We'll keep up maybe every week or so, but I don't know. I'm not gonna live and die by the Bulls this year. It's gonna be a rough one. It's gonna be very unfortunate. I'm sure we're probably gonna drop more than we should in my mind, but we'll stay positive. We'll stay optimistic, and we'll keep a look on that.
I think the big positive for me, being the very, casual basketball fan that I am. I'll tune in every now and again when the Blackhawks ain't on or if there's no fucking foosball games. But I always love tuning into Inside the NBA.
Yeah.
Shaq, Kenny, fucking Barkley, and Ernie Johnson. Those dudes are absolutely hilarious. They did their famous "Who He Play For" segment last night with fucking Barkley, and of course he goes 0 for 5. He has no fucking idea where these guys are playing. So those dudes are hilarious. You know, I don't pay attention to the rest of the league. I sort of get my information and my news from them. Kyle Schwarber pops one up down a left field line. Get out of play. Out of play. He's
Believe it or not,
alive.
I was just sitting the other day while we, like I said, doing the fantasy podcast at Mike's place. But I was just bringing this up. Like, people, I feel sometimes they don't watch the primetime game. They just watch Inside the NBA. They
Honestly,
just want to hear Barkley talk. They just want to hear him and Shaq talk shit. Ernie Johnson's a fantastic host, and actually the Jet Smith is very insightful. My dad even does that all the time. He's like, "Are you going to watch the game?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, just let me know when it's halftime." I'm like, "What, you don't you know when it's halftime when nothing's going on?" He's like, "Yeah, I just want to watch Charles and Shaq talk shit." I'm like, "Yeah, fuck it." I'm sure there's definitely that niche category of people that just watch Inside the NBA.
Yeah, those dudes they have the perfect chemistry between,
and they just
those
all got
four.
paid too. I think they all got like four years, like $200 million contract.
Yeah, dude, fucking Barkley turned down that fucking Live Golf blood money, dude. So you know he got paid from TNT. Yeah. Kyle Schwarber just hit a fucking rocket to the first baseman. Out at first, another run scored for the Phillies. I want to see how hard that one was fucking hit, because Brandon Drury, a pretty good fielding first baseman, couldn't even make that play. So Schwarber pissed on that one. 4-0 Phillies. How you doing, Troy?
How you doing?
All right, I got my comments on the Bulls, and Nick, you might want to close your ears when I say this. Following comments. The injury dealings with the Bulls right now, with Lonzo, with Zach, with Caruso, especially Zach. Does it not feel a little bit White Sox-ish to you? Where, like, we don't exactly know what the injury is, but, like, Zach kind of played in the preseason. Now he's out. I hate to say that because you and I are huge Sox fans, but it's feeling very South Side-ish. And obviously, Jerry owns this team too. It's one of those things where they're handling injuries the same way the White Sox did, which we all saw how they underachieved this season. That's where I get a little worried about. I'm not the biggest basketball guy, but just looking at how they're handling the injury situation, it's like, this smells very familiar.
It's a very good point. Yeah, you're definitely in the same realm of this team has a ton of potential. Injury bug is killing them, and it's shooting them in the foot. It's making it look bad. Like, I'm sure Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, that's a dynamite tandem that, it's a dual threat all the time. But if one is down and one isn't, it's a bad look. Vucevic, he's kind of just there. He puts up 20.
I can't stand
plays.
that overgrown soccer player.
He's just a mannequin on defense. He does nothing.
If he wasn't 6'7", he'd be playing goalie in Belgium somewhere.
Exactly.
The only reason he doesn't play soccer is because he's 6'10".
Yeah. I mean, my only hope is that, in some sort of way, that Drummond can finally just make his way into the starting position. He kind of is in the realm of, he doesn't really give a fuck. I think he kind of carries that personality in my mind, but I don't know. I kind of like that same sort of idea.
Wasn't he the one boning Jenny McCurdy from
Zoe
101? What a lucky guy.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah, I think the best case for the
childhood
Bulls
crush right there
would be Vuk. Vuk comes out and plays his ass off the first month, and the Bulls just move him.
Yeah, no, that'd be fantastic. Honestly, I mean that, and then we're gonna have to find some sort of way to get Kobe White just out of here. I mean, I feel like he's a fucking.
He's another one. If you get him hot from the 3-point line or hot running the second team, you move him too, and maybe it's a him and Vuk for something move. Who knows?
Yeah. Anything. I mean,
I think the Bulls. I think the Bulls are just planting the seeds, man. They're planting the seeds to bring in Giannis a couple of years from now. They bring in the fucking younger brother. They're gonna they're bringing in Giannis. How fucking awesome!
I would love for the Bulls to pull off. I don't know how much Indiana would be willing to do it, but if Indiana was willing to look at Kobe White and maybe Vuk, we get Buddy Buckets over here. Buddy Hield got to get a 3-point bucket for us. I know they've been talking about him going to the Lakers for the whole Russ buyout deal, but I think the Pacers would like players that they could actually use instead of just buying out Russ and getting a couple draft picks.
I do like Buddy Hield. It's a name that's been floating around a lot. Just a guy that's very young, very talented. He just hasn't been able to put it together just yet, just because he's been floating around all too many times. But every time he does play, he does seem to be the highlight. He does very, very well. And it's also just, if he could stay fully healthy and have a full season, I'm sure everyone's going to be chomping at the bit to try and trade for him, acquire him in free agency, or do something like that. So yeah, very good point. It's a very good name to roll out there. I would love that. That'd be great. Yeah, that kind of, at least for me, that kind of wraps up NBA. There was one other thing, Marcus Smart. I don't know if you guys paid attention to any of the game. Already causing controversy, talking shit. He's caused a fight. Is the NBA the best day-to-day drama sport? Because I know it's a weird category to throw these things under, but I would say like baseball, MLB is the best day-to-day to bet on, because there's so many games, there's so many opportunities. You can literally bet on the fucking pitch that's about to happen. But in terms of like what can happen on the Twitterverse every single day, NBA, that's where it's at. Like, these guys just love chirping at each other.
I'll make a comment on the Marcus Smart thing, Bill. I don't know if you saw this, but I think Joel Embiid should have broke his fucking arm. You want to play with the big boys down low? I mean, he's just trying to be a pest. You want to play with the big boys down low? Joel Embiid should have flipped his ass and broke his arm. And then Marcus Smart goes on to say, "Yeah, I would have cracked his head open." No, dude, you're like 6'4". You were a little pest bitch at Oklahoma State. I remember the years of you there. You were a little pest there. And Joel Embiid just broke your arm and then go, "Yeah, now go play basketball, shithead."
Yeah, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Didn't see the situation, but I will agree with Nick that the drama in the NBA is above all better than there is no hockey drama. There's little drama back and forth in football when Richard Sherman has a couple too many cocktails. Baseball, you have like the individual beefs. Obviously,
it was the fantasy football beef that was fun, but
obviously nobody likes Trevor Bauer. A lot of people don't like, you had the Javi Baez and the Amir Garrett fucking shit go back and forth, but it's definitely come like NBA. That's where the fucking drama is, and I think it's just the fucking egos of a lot of those athletes, and that's the back and forth between a lot of those guys is definitely where the most drama is out of like the top professional sports, I guess.
Yeah, no,
I'll
flip it back to Tim.
I love the Russell Westbrook drama too. Like the Lakers, it's already blame Russ season in LA, which I love. And then you got all these other players that played with them. Like KD came out yesterday or something and was like, "Yeah, people need to be nicer to Russ and this and that." It's like, well, then why did you leave him? You left his ass high and dry in fucking OKC to go jump a bandwagon and win a ring, dude. Yep. All these NBA stars are talking about, be nicer to Russ. Okay, why don't you guys go play with him then? If he's that great and needs to be treated better, somebody call him and say, "Hey, bro, let's go somewhere like, let's go pick a city and go win a ring. Come with me to this city and let's go win a ring." But no, they won't, because, Russ at this point, he's a great athlete, but he's good at what he does and he's trash at everything else.
Very true. Yeah, he's a running back out there. He's very explosive to the rim still and everything, but he can't shoot worth shit. It's I don't know. It's very weird out there.
He kicks at least 4 or 5 balls a game, which is hilarious. Dribbling the ball. He looks like me or Bill out there. Dribbling the ball and just you kick the ball off your foot in the crowd.
It looks like you or me the other day at the compound. We were playing with Johnny and the youngest Jaffrey kid over there, and it was 4. We were legit playing 4-on-2, 4 of the old fat dudes against those two. And we did come out on top. We were victorious, but
they ended up getting
it was
too.
Yeah, fucking hilarious. Cheaters. But yeah, and it also doesn't help in the NBA when you got the snake fucking Kevin Durant with 18 different burners out there calling fucking talking all this shit on the internet, causing drama. And then you got Blake Griffin, who had a fucking baby with a porn star that he just won't deny. It's sort of like I don't know. Nick, I know you haven't watched it. Tim, I'm not sure about you. It's sort of like the baby mama drama that's going on in House of the Dragon right now. It's like, we know that's your kid. Just admit it. So anyone who has been watching House of the Dragon, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, definitely the most fucking drama over there. I think it has to do with, like, honestly, maybe tell me if I'm wrong, because I don't know, but I saw like Jordan Poole the other day got like a 4-year, $120 million contract. And I'm just like, who the fuck is Jordan Poole and why is he getting 120 million?
He's the guy that got punched in the face.
punched,
I know
yeah.
that exactly. That's the only reason I know him. Why is he getting 120 million?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Dude, basketball is like boxing, bro. They got that old money and they got a shitload of it.
Jeez.
yeah, and I think they just had like their meetings or something like that. They went out. Sorry, that was the NFL. They had that, but they always want their cap to keep going up and up and up. And I can kind of see why when basically role-esque players are getting fucking 120 million, 150 million dollars when it's just
Ridiculous.
all these old guys that actually made a difference are just they still didn't do anything.
Someone just hit a home run. Josh Bell.
back to back for
home
the
run.
Padres.
Let's go.
And making it 4-2, making this a nice little over game right here. But yeah, if that wrapped up NBA, we can quickly go through a little bit of wrestling and call it a night here.
Let's do it. I mean, we had a pretty decent Tuesday fucking Dynamite last night, not Wednesday. And honestly, it was a great card, 4 title matches. And I mean, one pretty scary incident at the end, which I honestly thought was fake. I thought it was work, but turns out today that, we had a pretty serious injury. And I feel like concussions are going around everywhere right now in all types of sports. So,
yeah. Well, it is. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. It's not, sitting here, it's not the flu or anything, but concussions just flying around rampant. You got all over the NFL and different concussion protocols and shit. So I'm sure they would, AEW trying to hold themselves under the same lens. For those of you who don't know, in the main event last night, it was Jon Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Had a decent little match going back and forth, the usual. Jon Moxley blades himself, he's cut open, but like I said, battling back and forth with about 10 minutes left. Looks like Moxley landed I think what they called some big lariat. He hit him with a fucking
King Kong lariat.
There we go, the King Kong lariat. So probably caught Adam Page somewhere, I don't know, maybe underneath the chin or something like that. AEW did a good job of not doing any replays, staying off of Hangman Adam Page, making the situation a little less scary for the TV people, but I'm sure everyone in the arena were very concerned. It was to the point where they had to actually almost undo the bottom rope to get a better leverage on him to get him out of the ring. So I'm sure they did a very good job of getting him out and taking care of the situation, staying on their feet and improvising. They were able to call an audible, let Jon Moxley do a promo, and get enough time for MJF to come down, pretend like he was going to cash in the chip and do everything. But again, he cut a promo. They're going to do a full gear match, but focusing on just Adam Page, they diagnosed him with a concussion. They took him to a I forgot the actual thing, but just a neurological fucking place in Cincinnati. They didn't take him to just any old medical facility that they would say on WWE. They diagnosed him with a concussion. Hopefully, anyone on the Twitter realm isn't hammering Tony Schiavone that replied with, "This is good news." This is good news, because for anyone that was there, like that is very, again, concussions are fucking scary. We don't know if this was him getting paralyzed or in some sort of way, him not fucking being able to move his fucking limbs, him just having fucking mashed potato brains for the rest of his life, him just having a concussion compared to what could have been is good news. So I hope anyone doesn't really hate on Tony Schiavone in any sort of place. Hope he doesn't get ratioed or something like that in the Twitterverse or something like that. So be nice to Tony Schiavone. I know he's got to cut the shit with Jade Garrigo, but
cut the shit, Tony.
Yeah, it's still, like I said, in that realm, he was just being concerned about everyone. I mean, everyone was, from Big E in WWE, MJF actually breaking the kayfabe and wishing Hangman well. So that was cool to see, but scary situation. Don't like seeing that. I'm sure that updates will come in and they ended the match. Moxley, I'm sure Moxley was still gonna retain and win in Cincinnati anyways, and push forward with this storyline of MJF versus Moxley. But again, very scary. If you pray or anything, go ahead, put your prayers up for Adam Hangman Page. Hopefully he's getting better, but in all seriousness or whatever, it's okay, just a concussion, but I'm sure he'll be okay, given some time off. So any thoughts on that before, like I said?
Yeah, definitely scary moment. I honestly, like I said earlier, I thought it was a work just because earlier, I think right before the injury happened, they had cut to like the skybox that MJF was sitting in, and he wasn't sitting there. And I was like, why isn't he sitting there? Is he fucking coming to like cash in his chip or something? And then like 10, 11 minutes left in the broadcast, he has this injury, quote unquote. And I'm like, oh, they're about to pull some shit with fucking MJF. He's going to come cash in his chip. He's going to fuck over Moxley in Cincinnati. Something. That's just where my fucking mind was going. But
and just to put a damper on that, you can kind of tell it wasn't a work because they had to cut to the broadcast booth. They stayed solely on John Moxley. They didn't point to Adam Page on the ground. And the fact that, like I said, calling it audible, having MJF having to come down all the way from the top balcony down to the floor, I'm sure that's why they went to why Excalibur had to go over next week's matches and Rampage matches to give MJF enough time to actually get down for him to have this little back and forth. So
as soon as that happens, you're like, oh shit, he's actually fucking hurt. So good thing it's just a concussion, because like you said, it could have been a fucking laundry list of other different things. And obviously concussions are the hot topic right now in all sports. And that just for, the fucking haters out there sitting, you don't care, you don't watch wrestling, it's fake, it's all Korean, it's all bullshit, it's all this. Shut the fuck up, because we've said it before, we'll say it again. People have died in the fucking ring. So it's scary shit like this happens all the time. And hopefully he does recover soon, because
absolutely.
He's one of the top guys out there in AEW.
Yeah, just to make him look more sympathetic. I mean, he doesn't really need to be. I know he's a good guy all in general. I know maybe a little bit of a shithead in the back, but he just had a kid. He doesn't really need something like that. Again, as long as it's not serious. This is all in on the better side of what could have been obviously. Yeah. So get better, Hangman. But AEW will still continue to churn out some pretty good content. But I'm sure. Maybe back in like a month or two, maybe get him in that sort of realm. It'll be a good pop to see him back again.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it always is.
Yeah. The only other thing I had, if you guys need a lasting comment on that, just Ace Steel, the guy that was with that CM Punk, his trainer, his bodyguard, or whatever it was during that last little thing. He's been released from AEW. No real other thing on that I have. That was just that maybe. I hope not. I hope that doesn't mean that CM Punk's on his way out too. But I'm still in my mind. I'm like, they're just invested way too much in CM Punk to not have him come back in any sort of way. So it'd just be so fucking stupid. So I just leave you with that, I suppose. Ace Steel released from AEW. No real other news in wrestling. No real other news anywhere. That kind of wraps it up over here from my end. Any lasting little departures? I don't know if you guys have anything else to wrap this baby up and get on out of here.
No, I got nothing else. Tim, you got anything else before we call this bitch quits?
I'm good, boys.
No, awesome. Well, hell yeah. Fucking thank you again for coming in, Timbo. It was great to have you back. Episode 131 in the books. We got Bears Patriots coming Monday night. We'll see. We might record after the game. If not, we'll definitely be back Tuesday with full week 7 Bears Patriots, rest of the league review for you guys. We'll see. Maybe the Bears are losing by 40 at halftime. We'll start recording then. So
yeah, maybe we'll see how it goes. I'm sure we'll call an audible, or maybe we'll just stick to our usual schedule or something like that. Yeah. Again, I just want to say, thanks for joining in, Tim. This is always fun. I always love the, get some more point of views and shit like that. Maybe, and always feel free to fucking join in whenever you can. I mean, this, like I said, this is always awesome. This is great. Having the original guys back. On it. Yeah, hell yeah, fuck yeah. If you guys got anything else, we can fucking clock out. This is thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for tuning in wherever you may be, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Apple Music, wherever the fuck. Alan, as always, take your notes. Thank you, Troy, for listening. Like I said, we'll go Bears and everything. We'll be looking forward to that. And maybe you have a good fantasy day too. And take care.
Yep. See you guys later.